together with my co-researchers, Angeline, Keishin, and Ashley, and me, Shin Udes. And the title of our poster presentation is Teaching a Child Table Manners Through Operant Conditioning. So we conducted this study to determine the good manners of the grade 6 students through operant conditioning as an approach to students' development in their behavior, motivation, and academic performances. So it is about the conditioning and modifying the operant behavior proposed by B.F. Skinner with the presence of reinforcements and punishment. So its introduction is the operant conditioning, also known as instrumental conditioning, is a method of learning normally attributed to B.F. Skinner, where the consequences of a response determine the probability of being repeated. Through operant conditioning, behavior which is reinforced or rewarded will likely be repeated, and behavior which is punished will occur less frequently. As we have conducted this study, it is imperative that we get familiar with different learning theories of a child and recognize that there are different methods and thoughts about how people learn. So there are grade 6 students in class who are difficult to manage and hard to work with. Such behaviors are actually hard to control by teachers and parents. So it needs extra work to get those students to pay attention to the lesson and stop distracting others. Since understanding the principles of operant conditioning is imperative in child development due to the possibility of reinforcing the desired behaviors that are expected from a person who is growing up while also reducing the occurrence of undesired behaviors. So in addition, in terms of learning table manners, rewards are necessary to apply to both efforts and improvements. So instead of focusing predominantly on achieving perfect results, in instances when a child shows initiative and good intentions associated with good table manners, parents or teachers should acknowledge their efforts. Any form of early praise will give a child a sense of success, which can enable them to continue the expected behaviors and practices.
So next, methodology. This study measures behavior of the 10 students in a grade 6 class in Ondol Elementary School. Using the operant conditioning in the age of 10 to 12 years old, the 10 respondents are measured and observed through a 10 items checklist questionnaire to determine the table manners of the students on how their behavior being rewarded or be punished.
So for the interpretation, so this is what we make.
This is our questionnaire, survey questionnaire.
So this is our survey questionnaire that we conducted in the Ondol Elementary School. So for the interpretation, the result shows that out of 10 respondents, there are 67% chose yes and 33% chose no. Under a system of positive reinforcement, children understand that their good behavior results in positive consequences such as reward or even more recognition. So this teaches them the value of personal responsibility and self-discipline. So this is what the students answer in our survey. The result. Good day once again. So our topic is teaching a child table manners through operant conditioning. So the conclusion for our research poster, it is according to the result of the survey that we conducted, we conclude that operant conditioning, which are the reinforcement and punishment, is used to increase and decrease a behavior via the removal and the application of undesirable outcome or a negative outcome of the 10 respondents in grade 6 at Ondol Elementary School. The outcome of our study is that they are more likely to do the thing if there's such a thing like a reward. And overall, teaching table manners for children the outcome of punishment. And overall, teaching table manners for children using operant conditioning is essential as we live in the modern world, wherein more students is hard to deal with, especially grade 6 students. Therefore, we should try to use the reinforcement and punishment. Furthermore, take note that reinforcement means you are increasing a behavior. It can also be positive and negative. On the other hand, all reinforcers, positive or negative, increase the likelihood of a behavior response. All punishers, positive or negative again, decrease the likelihood of a behavior response. Do you have any question? Okay.
My question is, what is the purpose of your poster presentation?
So the purpose of our poster presentation is that to determine the good manners of the grade 6 students through operant conditioning as an approach to students' development, especially in their behavior and their motivations and in their academic performances. So this is about the conditioning and modifying the operant behavior that is proposed by D.F. Skinner, and with the presence of reinforcement and punishments.
My question, as a future educator, how can you manage the behavior to your students in the near future?
So for your question, as a future educator, we can use the operant conditioning. That's why we conduct the study, because we can use the operant conditioning in our teaching process, especially that we can use the reinforcement and punishment. But more likely, children or students are more increasing behavior if we use the reinforcement or rewards, by giving them rewards and by saying a good job children and by appreciating their efforts. And that's all.
Based on the result of your survey questionnaire, can you explain further to be able for us to understand more of your presentation?
As the answer of your question, so this is the result of what we conduct in Ondol Elementary School students. So this color violet shows that more of the student chose yes, and the red color is the one that students chose no. So the result shows that out of 10 respondents in the Ondol Elementary School, there are 67% chose yes and 33% chose no. Then this teaches them the value of personal responsibility and self-discipline. Thank you.
And that